Okay.
Amazing, guys. So hello all. I hope you guys are all well and you're having a great week. Tonight, Middlesex University Product Design Engineering and Design Engineering, we're really excited to host our ninth talk in the annual guest lecture series. So this series runs weekly throughout the academic year on Thursday evenings, bringing together a vibrant mix of speakers from across the full spectrum of design and engineering. A mix of leading practitioners, opinion leaders, radical thinkers, and emerging talents to hopefully inspire and support the professional development for all of our participants. Tonight, we're super excited to host Jonas Bartasius. He's a co-founder and a product lead at Doyo Studio. He's joining us from Berlin in Germany. And Jonas is currently helping founders run product experiments using Google Ventures, the design sprint methodology to help develop their brands. He shares a keen interest in building products, startups, and growing businesses with a focus on tech. Jonas has launched several products and worked in the FinTech, blockchain, FoodTech, and Development House industries. As usual, guys, feel free to gather your thoughts, your questions, your sentiments, your comments in the chat throughout the talk. We'll have Q&A at the end, and there's also the option to go live and interact with Jonas after the main talks. And without any further ado, over to Jonas with a talk titled, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Running a Design Agency.
Perfect. Thank you very much for the introduction, Ahmed. So hello, guys. I'm Jonas. I'm a co-founder of Doyo Studio, and I'll share you a few things of my general story and the whole journey. You know how everything came about. So to actually start with, it would be very nice for me to understand, who exactly are you guys, right? So like, are you bachelor students? In which sort of year are you in? Like, are you in the first year, second year, final year, maybe masters? If you could drop that in the chat, that would be lovely. So for me to get a better understanding of who exactly we're talking with today, and vice versa. So who exactly is this guy, right? I just took a picture before starting today, as I was preparing the presentation. And my name is Jonas. I'm founder. I did accounting and finance at Warwick Business School. My probably favorite role that I did was product at Turing Solutions, a development house. And I actually co-founded multiple projects and enjoyed the startup and entrepreneur sort of path for a few years now. And as Ahmed said, well, I'm currently in Berlin. So I moved to Berlin and worked with the evil clients for more than a year, and you can see how it turned out to be. From a nice guy with some slick glasses, into I don't know how I can call myself, but I was thinking, why should you listen? I don't really have an answer to it because I'm still figuring things out too, right? I recently graduated from the university. I'm 24 years old. I just managed to to put together a team and work with some clients, sell some ideas, and help them to achieve their goals. So what I would like to be for you guys is a bit of an influential figure, but in a way that a person that you can talk to, you can ask questions, and someone that can share their struggles and the good parts very honestly and openly. So for me, these were the three people that I mostly looked up to when I was younger. So it's Gary Vee. From the left to right, it's Gary Vee. He is an owner of Gary Media, so a big marketing company. Tony Robbins is a motivational speaker, helping people to overcome their limitations and issues and basically deal with their life traumas. And then we have Steve Jobs, who I'm pretty sure everybody knows of. So what I'm trying to do and what's my goal within this short life I'll be living is just to be honest and open, help everybody that I can, and try to instill some trust to people that they should trust their gut and believe in themselves. So no further ado, actually, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey, and those life-changing moments where I trusted my gut, I was open, and also I did believe in myself and where it led me to. Uni, not a big fan. I started doing finance because I wanted to be an investment banker. 6 months in, I've realized that I'm just being a black sheep in a white sheep band, and started looking for opportunities. What can I do? I joined some societies, tried to still file some applications, but long story short, wanted to run away from the university, and a perfect solution for that was a placement year. I don't know how many of you are able or maybe are considering at this particular moment a placement year where you basically stop your studies to an extent, and you join a company. You join a company and work for them for a year, or maybe like 2 companies for half a year each. It was one of the best decisions I've made in my life, and I definitely suggest you to do the same if you have an opportunity, because it put me on the verge to choose between IBM and crypto. So IBM was business operations, a nice salary in London, perfect career path, to pursue and to learn and to become like a corporate dude. And then, we had crypto, something that I was very interested in. With a few friends of mine back in 2017, we were doing some research in how do things work there, what is an ICO, how do people raise money, and we were producing some papers and selling them. So all in all, I had some interest in crypto, and crypto won. So as I chose the crypto path, and I ditched the corporate idea, I've realized that I want to work with, in, and on startups, right? So it was a good experience to work at Monifa, at a company that raised $38 million in 18 minutes. That was insane. That was one of the quickest raises ever done in the crypto industry back in 2017. After that, I moved in, I actually worked as an account manager, so doing sales, and then I moved into product. But all in all, it was mostly about startups. So eventually, I thought that I should build one of my own. It was a kind of success run, first paid users, investment offer. Although mess with the team, we couldn't really find a. We did struggle a little bit because we couldn't align on the same vision or idea that we had, and because we were working super long hours and trying to put our best into it, we did burn out a little bit, and we couldn't really even hold a nice conversation between each other as co-founders. So and before graduating, got an offer from Deloitte Ventures, which was also a very sort of lovely and interesting idea, career path. I always wanted to work on the products, on the ventures side of things, and it was a non-standard offer. And it was a nice opportunity to take, although I kind of promised myself that if I can pay myself a salary from whatever I do, is it the startup that has failed, maybe being a freelancer or doing whatever else, I'm not going to Deloitte Ventures. So fast forward January 2021, I need to make a decision. The situation in Jonas's life is that Deloitte Ventures versus 400 euro salary, and 400 euro salary, this is basically the top I can pay for myself, and I should be even, I guess, lower in that, so that we can leave more money in the business and pursue and invest into operations and other stuff. I guess I made the right decision because I chose the 400 euro salary, and actually that's how Doyo Studio came about. We're helping startups to build their visual presence, their digital presence. And the 2 things we're focusing on is branding strategy and identity, as well as web design and development. So as the first order of business, whenever you guys start an agency or you want to work on something in general, if you want to start your startup, please take a note that this is super important. You need to update your LinkedIn profile with a co-founder or founder title, as well as do some professional photo shoot that shows you that you're in some real business. Actually, so the story there is that we bootstrapped. We used all of our money to hire better people, get better clients. That's why the salary was very low, although we're doing what we loved. We really enjoyed the whole process. It was a great experience for all of us as a team, as business partners with my co-founder, to explore the agency life. But we realized that, that we need to survive somehow too. So that 400 euro salary is at least short of another 400 euros to survive. Therefore, what we did is after the 10-hour solid shift of work in our small office in the capital of Lithuania, Vilnius, we stayed after hours and we traded crypto, because that was the kind of easiest way for us to get some money, so that we don't need to work or do some other stuff, and we can focus on building an agency together. But yeah, as you can see, 10 hours plus trading. So like our days total to 12, 14-hour days. And in such way, we couldn't really last much longer. Thus, it kind of forced us to find solutions and to make the plan A, to be specific, the Doyo Studio, the agency, work. So fast forward 9 months, we were rounding around 100K revenue. Next month, we should be 10 people in the team. We brought new executives, new business partners, bigger clients, landed our biggest clients actually, and very much looking forward for what the future holds for us. But that sounds too good to be true, right? Yes, it is actually, because that's not the way it actually did work. So do you remember those fast forward 9 months to the 100K revenue? I'll tell you a little bit more what it did actually take to achieve. Alrighty, so more clients, more money. Sounds like a dream. Oh, it did. I was on a cloud 9 when I managed to go to bed and sleep, but when I couldn't, I was basically by my phone, holding my holding my phone and opening Headspace, listening to all of the meditation stuff that was there to sort of calm down and release the stress, and also be able to sleep. But that scale of management, clients, teams, finances, operations, in general, delivering the good quality work has increased exponentially as we were sort of shooting for the stars. My business partner was taking care only of the branding side of things, right? So everything else that was related to business, to website, to product, to workshops, sales, operations, whatever else, was on my shoulders. And yeah, most of those clients that we were bringing in were website as well, which split the agency into 20/80 sort of principle, where 20% of branding was 20% of revenue was being generated by branding work, so branding strategy, branding identity, and something that my co-founder was taking care of, and then the 80% of it was web, where my team and myself been constantly working on. So we're still very much young. We don't really have any great experience, and we are there to learn, and that lack of management of skill and a lot of responsibility, falling onto one individual shoulder, so on my shoulders, was very difficult, especially when you need to understand so many different things: finance, sale, legal, operations, and of course, quality assurance of the work that we produce. I burned out. I honestly did burn out. I was having some anxiety attacks. They were not as hard and as difficult as it happens to other people, but still it was not nice. And I had to stop and listen to myself, look into my mental and physical health, understand my body better. So yeah, I decided to take a trip to Italy. And to give you some perspective, it's not just like years ago. The trip to Italy was in November 2021. So I was like, yeah, I need to eat some nice food, drink some nice wine, and just sort of collect my thoughts. One important note: don't drink tap water in Italy. because I was thinking that I'm going on a holiday. I actually ended up in a hospital because of food poisoning or water poisoning. So if you take anything out from this presentation, not drink that water in Italy, guys. But yeah, when I was there, there was another important decision that I thought of and that I managed to actually make, was that we need to split apart with my business partner. It doesn't make sense for us to work together anymore, because neither he is happy nor the work that we are producing was something that we wanted to work on together. It became more of an individual show. And our goals, visions, ideas, they were not on the same page. Therefore, it was some sort of like common understanding that we should do something about it. Yeah, we split up, and I had to buy him out. And buying out wasn't too difficult, but again, it was a very new thing that I've never actually done before. And it seems that the company has been operating for a year and a bit, and we're buying each other out. What the hell is going on? But despite everything, in the end, everything worked out well. Things been put into places, and we're still really good friends. We do still work together, just on a sort of different operational, organizational setup. Yeah, so the good, the agency, the path to 100K, the people, and all the cool stuff is there. The bad, the burnout, the buying out the co-founder, and sort of being overwhelmed is there too. So what about the ugly, right? The client, of course. So clients from hell. In agency industry, there is a term called clients from hell, and those can be identified in nature by these three main traits: small budget, no budget increase, super many requirements, subjective random feedback, or AKA just assholes. So we actually bumped into those quite often, and they were not the best guys to work with. They were at the very beginning. We did cancel and close some of the clients that we didn't want to work with anymore. But yeah, we don't work cheap. That's what we realized. And if you guys are ever trying to get into the industry, try not to become cheap. The price the client has to pay is for the value that they get, with no discount. Or if you really love the work that they are doing, or the project itself, or the team, I think it makes more sense, for you to work for free, because you're going to have the creative freedom. No one will going to tell you that, I paid for you. I paid you for this. You should do it my way, because then you have the freedom. And if they pay you well, you don't really worry too much about your creativity lock, and that allows you to just focus on doing the work and earning the money, basically achieving that financial benefit. Yeah, and this is how it usually works with the very first clients. Its beginning is always difficult. That was literally me on a call or on a laptop, on Zoom, on whatever. We were an award-winning multidisciplinary design studio, and there's one dude behind it trying to convince that company should pay 10, 20, 30,000 for branding and website that we're gonna be delivering to them. It was a very interesting experience and path, as well as delivering on time. When you're working for yourself, or you have your own startup and you work towards a certain goal, you have a little bit more leeway there regarding the timelines. And with the client, if you agree a timeline, you do have to deliver by that timeline. So that picture very nicely, for me at least, illustrates that, at the very beginning, you spend a lot of time to narrow down the details and be very specific. And then at the end, when you have to rush things, you basically deliver some random smiley face on a piece of paper. And most importantly, no clue what exactly you're doing. And this is absolutely normal. we are the ones that embrace the unknown, right? We are the ones that are willing to take the risk, and that's what they're paying for. So even if you don't know how to deliver something, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be taking that work on. Of course, after a period of time, you're gonna figure out what exactly is that you love the most doing, as well as what do you do the best and what should the clients pay you for. But at the very beginning, I definitely suggest to just give it a try. You will learn on the job at the end of the day, because it's impossible to get it right the very first time, the second, the third time, and etc. There's no right way to do it. And if you want to get better or do something more, you need to take those risks, and those risks are usually not well measured, because one thing is what do we think that it will take us to accomplish, and then the other is what it does actually. I'm pretty sure if you ever try to do something or improve something, and move from that idea stage to some actual prototype or testing environment, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, don't be afraid to learn on the job. I may sound like an old dude, I'm not though, but just be open, curious, and adventurous. I think this is one of the most important things you guys should be actually working on, and trying to embrace that curiosity, and let yourself wonder. Do one thing, the other thing, the third thing. They don't have to be connected. Just give it a try, and just be interested in what you do and enjoy that, because when the shit hits the fan, those that don't really enjoy, and they're just there because of some money, or just they had a little bit of free time to do something, to allocate the time to you, they usually leave you hanging. And if you're interested in you enjoy that, you will pursue further and try to achieve and try to get to the end goal that you were initially planning to go for. So through sweat and tears, you learn so many new things, and this is probably the greatest opportunity that we have, that we currently have, especially with the remote work and everything. That we know how to use laptops, computers, sketch, draw, and do code and do everything that we want to do. So that passion, interest, enjoyment, and sort of stubbornness, I believe, will lead you to achieve great things. And guys, love life and be yourself. So I guess that's it. Thank you very much, guys, for listening to my monologue. I am much more of a guy of a discussion, so I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Have a chat, maybe get into more specific details. Is it about the operations, the clients, the work with the team, hiring, sales, whatever it is. So yeah, please feel free to ask me anything.
Jonas, amazing. Many thanks for that. It was a really brilliant overview, of your journey, your experience, and some of your learnings as well, in terms of starting, setting up a startup, the tips and advices, and your learnings and kind of pathway over the last year and a bit. Superb talk. So guys, as Jonas has mentioned, feel free to gather your thoughts and questions in the chat. If you want to go live, you can just drop a message there as usual, and you can interact with Jonas as well. I see a few questions coming through, guys. So the first one was from Carlos Ariel. Is asking, Jonas, what did you do with crypto?
Oh, yeah. So a few things. So first of all, I in 2017, while I was in my second year at uni, we had a group of friends that we were doing some research on ICOs. So what we're trying to do is to find some promising startups or projects and invest money into it. Then try to go from that business analyst sort of perspective more into in sort of like homemade research, go into something more legit. So that was when I joined that crypto startup, and I was doing large-scale research, and ended up running a department within that company to try to establish a new branch, which was about security token offerings. And in particular, that would be just a token or a crypto backed by real assets, so something that currently NFTs are a similar thing to. And now my crypto is the way I'm related to crypto is that we do have quite a few clients that are within crypto industry. I am working on a new sort of project, which is a GameFi, so a blockchain-based strategy mafia game. So we're developing some stuff there, and as well as I do invest in some projects that I see that are of an interest to me.
Amazing. And Manu's asking when you decided when you decide to take work for free, do you actually work with the same amount of effort if some in comparison to a client that's paying, or how do you go about in terms of managing that?
So I guess since it wasn't the very first client that we've been working with, we were pretty confident in our skills and abilities that we can actually deliver. So the way it worked, that the client has offered like maybe 2.5 or 3 times lower budget that we actually estimated at the beginning, and we told them that let's strike a deal that we're gonna do some work pro bono for you. And if that actually turns out to be great, meaning that we set up some KPIs or metrics that we're going to track. So in that particular case, it was a landing page that will convert people to sign up for a demo version of their product in edtech field. As we did that successfully, and the revenue and additional sales that they have generated, they gave us 30% of that cut for the work that we've done after we sort of pro bono delivered the work to them. Because we trusted ourselves, they trusted us as well. We knew what we were doing, and we were able to sort of provide them value at the beginning and get some sort of financial benefit afterwards.
Amazing. Another question coming in from Iram. Iram's asking, what would you say is the toughest part in terms of building a business, from dealing with difficult clients to finding clients, building recognition, etc.?
That's a very good question. I think we were a bit lucky because I did work in a product development studio. My former partner was also a designer, kind of well known within Lithuania, and that's where we started our company at. So we never actually had to do sales per se. We always got referred, or someone would introduce us, or people just come straight to us. So it was more about managing the expectations, understanding the problems, and coming up with the solutions for them. Regarding the sale part, so I wouldn't say that was the most difficult thing. Establishing presence, well, I don't know, guys, if you checked our social media, it's pretty terrible. So you don't really need that as well if you have a nice network, and the work that you do speaks for itself. So what I can do is I can, if a client asks for a portfolio, it doesn't have to be a PDF or a website. I'm just gonna tell them, guys, we're gonna send you a link of our previous clients, and check them out. Actually, how did they look? So again, wouldn't say that the brand itself was the difficult part. What is difficult though is to ensure that the quality that you deliver, and that the whole management, the whole team structure is there, that you can trust those people, and that they're being paid well and fair for the work they do, as well as you do as well. Because I personally, well, at the very beginning, we didn't really understand the economics within our company and how we should do things, because we did track hours, and we paid our designers and developers on an hourly basis, but we never actually had the cap. And if we thought that the work is not of a satisfactory quality, we give them more budget to work on it and deliver the best. Therefore, the very first projects that we did were like at 0 or negative margin, profit margin. But then again, that showed the persistence and sort of it was an investment into the long term. So long story short, I think it's all about the team and people you gather together that are the most important assets. Because at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're selling man hours. You're just packaging it up into a nicer product. You know how to sell it. You can prepare a pitch deck. You can find out the problems or the issues the client is experiencing, and then tailor your product or offering to their exact solution, right? But yeah, it's people's business. As well as the clients are people. You need to ensure that they're happy, and you need to work with them constantly and account manage them, as well as the team.
Amazing. And Ramsey's asking, like, how do you get clients? Is it by hunting, through email or phone calls? And how do you go about doing it?
So first of all, if you're, for example, starting as a freelancer, or you want to you have an idea, or let's say your dream client, I would suggest to do a little bit more research and try to put a list of, let's say, maybe 10 or 20 brands that you would be willing to or would love to work with, and contact them, offer your hours, offer your hands, your skill, your creative just offer yourself, meaning that ask them if you can work for them for free for a month. Basically try and deliver the work, or help them out with some issues, or maybe you see that there is an issue on their website, their social media, or somewhere, if we're talking about digital, right? Just let them know that you're interested and you want to do something for them and help them. And I'm pretty sure that every single company always needs additional pair of hands to get it, to basically do some stuff. And then searching for gigs. It's interesting. I haven't really, as I mentioned, for us, it was mostly referral, and we were lucky that we managed to somewhat build a nice network of people that are within the startup and sort of tech industry, and we were lucky. So again, I'm pretty sure you guys do have friends as well. Open your contact book. You have probably 200, 300 people on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, and just drop them a question. Say that look, if they are maybe a part of an organization, or they're running a business, a small shop or whatever, and try to suggest try to understand what problems do they have, and when they tell you the problems, think if you can be the cure for it, if you can solve it for them. And then that's how, I guess, you can start your journey to solving problems.
Awesome. And another question coming in from Carlos. Carlos is asking, what did you do after the company received the 100K? Did you invest?
No, not really. So it was revenue that we generated over 9 months, right? So some of it was spent as a so it was a cost of goods sold, or in other words, that we paid our team. We bought some assets, laptops, tools, whatever it was, and then we were building a runway. We want to be able to sustain the whole team without any work for 6 months, and that needs some capital allocation and some savings to be able to do so. But that gives, again, sort of freedom and safety for the team members, and that is the goal that we are trying to reach financially. That they don't need to worry. They can be sure that for the next 6 months, they're definitely going to have a job with us.
Brilliant. And a bit of a personal one from Adam. Adam's asking,
Sure.
how much Bitcoin do you have?
It's I'm not the biggest Bitcoin fan. I'm more of an altcoin guy. I'm into Ethereum, Cardano, Aave. I do have a few NFTs. It's not too much. It's not too much. I can't say that I am a millionaire or anything. Is just that I can tell you that around 96% of my assets are in crypto. So I'm pretty bullish on it. Yeah.
Amazing. And Torvidas, you wanted to go live? Feel free to unmute yourself, Torvidas.
Hi, Jonas. So many thanks for
Hey,
doing this. And Berlin is Berlin. So my question to you would be, going back in time when you were making decision and got those proposals, of course there were some doubts. Did you have a plan B, or you just went through, what was your thinking behind it? Because a lot of people here are also personally me in, almost graduating thinking, shall I go to business or shall I go to corporate, or I don't know what, to Taiwan?
That is a very nice question, because I think that's why I'm actually one of the recent hires of ours is a project director, and she will be taking care of all of the management and planning, because I'm pretty bad at it, and it's the same as in business and in life. I don't really like to plan too much, because I think it's very constant changing, and that's the only constant thing, I guess, in life is the change, right? Because I know every 3 months my life actually turns around and then turns back, and I think this is about the gut feeling, right? I definitely suggest to give it a try and try to experience it, try to understand what it is, the corporate path, what is the startup path, what is being self-employed. Of course, as we go, that so self-employed is probably the highest risk, because you cannot really expect constant inflow of cash into your bank account, and then this is definitely a big risk one can take. The way I mitigated was that I, as COVID started in 2020, right, I moved back home to Klaipėda, to my hometown, to Lithuania, and I stayed at my parents for 6 or 8 months, meaning that my living costs were zero. I was probably even earning some. My parents would give me some cash to go to a shop or something, so getting some pocket money, and that was very helpful, because I didn't have to worry about paying the bills, renting, and doing any other stuff. Although it came at kind of great sacrifice. I was Vytautas, you actually came to the office, right? You brought some presents as well to.
I do still have. So for the background, there's a theory of business starter shower. So when you have a baby shower, you bring to a mother, the kids, whatever kid needs. So there's this same idea for business shower, and Jonas was just starting I think you were in his 3rd or whatever month. And I brought him a box of cigar and box of whiskey, one for whenever you get a good deal. So I wanted to ask you, do you still have that?
No, I think we have successfully used it to alleviate the stress and celebrate the occasion. Yes. But yeah, again, I think it's the gut feeling. If you can mitigate the risk of being kicked out of the flat by not paying the rent and moving to your parents, and of course, if you can try to save some money and work a little bit harder, maybe this summer or whatever, for a certain period of time, save some money, try not to spend all of it. And if you really believe in something, in your idea, in your product, and whatever, just invest. This is the best parameter to investors as well. If you ever consider to go there, how much are the founders involved and committed to the work that they do? Are they even willing to put their personal savings, not only the time, right, the full-time aspect, but also personal savings to to get it off the ground.
Hey,
I have one last question. When you were in uni and during the presentation mentioned that you had quite a few offers from very good companies and so on. What is your process of getting those offers? How do you get into position of interviews and how you do that basically?
Sure. I think I filed like 100 something applications over the first and second year. That was terrible. That was dumb. I would never repeat that. And what I realized, so these were the two companies that I actually wanted to go for. IBM because of their Watson. I was interested in the natural language processing aspect, and that's where I wanted to. And AI, ML, and LP, all of that. That's why I was very curious and genuinely interested. Not just wanted there because of the name or whatever. It was genuine interest, and I even built a chatbot with their I think IBM Watson, that's how it's called, a quick chatbot, that we actually used as a mock-up for one of the classes while at uni. And Deloitte Ventures, again, it was only one application in my final year. I knew a few people from there, from a few startup events before, that they're doing some cool stuff in-house and also consulting and helping other companies around. It was genuine interest, genuinely being interested in something, and just putting your heart into that application. And the other 118 applications that I filed, it either went to the test or phone interview level, but that's where it ended. Oh, actually, I went to UBS, asset management assessment center, I didn't get the job for it. So yeah, 3 assessment centers, 2 of them were success. The other one, the banking one, finance one, wasn't.
Awesome. That's brilliant. And what's it called? In terms of the next question, Olusei is asking, have you had any issues with design theft or any other legalities surrounding and regarding your design?
Oh, good question. Actually, never have we experienced that. I think maybe we're lucky, or I don't know, or maybe the designs are bad, so no one's stealing them.
That's a good one. Another question coming in from Ramsey. Ramsey's asking, how do you go about setting up your payments? Is it by percentage, like 70% to kickstart the project and then 30% on delivery? How do you go?
Yeah, so the way that we work, at the very beginning, we started with 50-50. So 50% of the whole invoice, the contract up front, and then 50 at the delivery. Because then even if the client, let's say, leaves you in the middle of nowhere, you still have money to pay the team, and this is very important. It's the team has to get paid first to keep their morale up, especially if the client is running away, and we had that experience. So it was very good that we got the down payment, the non-refundable down payment in the contract, and then the 50% upon delivery. And with the bigger clients, especially since they're startups, if we're talking about budgets that are closer to like 30,000-40,000 euro, this is a bit of an investment and big payment. So we split it into 4 parts. We allow the client to pay 25%. So depending, of course, what work do we deliver to them, but it's pretty simple to time it. So the first one at 25% before the work commences. We do have the branding part. We deliver the branding. We ask for another 25. We deliver the design for the website. We ask for another 25. And then upon delivery of the whole website designed and developed, we ask for the final payment. And yeah, contracts, very important to get the contract sorted. Don't forget that.
Yeah. And a question coming in from Rod Cook. I'm asking what branding methods do you use to increase the publicity of the company?
Of our own, or would that be of a client?
Of your own.
As I mentioned, we don't really have any social presence. Actually, that's what we're working on. As the team is expanding, we have people that will be
I've seen him
taking
before.
will be taken care of those of the marketing aspects of the agency. But well, for mainly the most important thing is the deck, right? The proposal that you send to the client. That would actually that's what actually matters, because when you're charging them a lot, you need to show that they will be getting quality service. And from the deck, you can easily see, is it well designed? Is it well structured? Are there any issues, mistakes? I don't know, like in general, some misalignments, right? How well do you define the process? Because this is also a very important thing, that we realize that we're not a web agency, we're not logo agency, we're not branding agency. What we do is that we help clients to develop their digital visual presence, and that there is a process that you need to go through. Because to buy a logo, you can go on Fiverr and get it for 50 quid, or something. And people sometimes don't understand, why do they need to pay thousands of euros or pounds for the work that we do. It's because there is certain process, milestone steps, workshops, questions, stages that you need to accomplish to be able to go to get to the level that when you look at the logo and you understand what does it communicate, what does it stand for, and it looks in general well within the setting, the industry, the company, team, and stuff like that.
Brilliant, man, brilliant. And Iram's asking, what's been your favorite part of the whole business journey so far?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm an interesting guy, I guess, in a way that I like jumping around things. So one of the reasons why I started the agency initially was that, all right, I can't really put my head down to one thing and focus on it, because it doesn't work in my head that way, right? I usually come and start searching for other things that I want to do as well. So like get sidetracked a little bit. So within the agency, or let's say being consultant or whatever, you work with multiple clients. You get exposure to different industries, to different mindsets, to different problems, issues, solutions, and everything. So I guess that vastness of randomness and constantly changing sort of clientele questions and issues, that's what I love the most. And of course the team, the bunch of guys, or the bunch of guys and gals that we're working with, it's amazing. We get along super well, and I can't wait to actually have our first workation somewhere, outside Lithuania, in I know some crazy, maybe some crazy Asian sort of island, or I don't know, somewhere. So that's another thing I'm very much looking forward to.
Amazing. And I think that leads us nicely on to the next question, actually. When it comes to building a team, Charles is asking, what is the best way to go about it? Would you go for people with good skills that you don't know as much, or people that you know and you're familiar with who would have to learn to acquire those skills?
It depends what is what is the goal, right? If you need to get something, if you need to spin up something super quick, release it, and get some feedback. I'm not sure if you do really need that much of a skill. What you need is time and hands, and commitment from people. So I would much more value the soft skills and, let's say, the mindset aspect from a team member, a co-founder, or a senior team member when you're working on a startup. When it comes to the agency level stuff, as I mentioned, the assets and the service that you're selling is actually people, right? That is your product. So the better people you have, the more skill you have, the more you can charge for them, meaning you can make more money, and the work that you will be related to, or the when people gonna ask, think about you, they're gonna think about the quality of work that you have produced. So if you're working with junior people that don't really understand how to do it yet, then you'll be like, okay, these guys can do it cheap because they're junior, they're young, they can still deliver stuff, but this is not something extraordinary. For it will be difficult to get the big budgets. But then when it comes to highly experienced people, designers, developers, whatever it is, you can definitely charge more for them because you can give them, show them sort of proof of their previous work or their seniority. Maybe they worked in a certain industry for 10 years and they have the understanding and skills to achieve great things.
Amazing.
So it depends on the case. Yeah. If you are wondering about something like team-wise or for a startup or for an agency, feel free to drop me a line. We can have a more detailed chat. And yeah, guys, in general, I think Ahmed maybe will tell at the end, if you want to have a chat, feel free to contact me. I'm more than happy to help you out if I can.
Amazing. And Ramsey's asking another question as well. Ramsey's asking, do you feel like the location is important for a business like yours? And are international brands and companies comfortable to work with a company from another country, especially regarding if the company has a small revenue? Or do you find that it's difficult in that situation?
Perfect question. I was thinking that location is super important. Honestly, a week ago, I got the first Berlin client and I've been here for 7 months or no, even more since May, basically. Right. So, it doesn't really matter that much, especially currently, because, all the restrictions, you can't really, get to meet people that easily, and everybody is a bit precautious about it. So that doesn't matter that much. Of course, it does make a change if you can meet them in person, if you can have a dinner, go for a drink, have a chat and sort of put the name on a face. Absolutely. And regarding are you comfortable to work with someone from another country? Absolutely. I guess the notion, for example, when we're working, if it is a European country, no problem at all. It sort of has that, let's say, European-ish vibe that everybody trusts. But then, when we're speaking about, for example, India, Pakistan, even Thailand or China, it's a bit different, when it comes to international business dealing. I don't have too much experience myself. I just heard things, but yeah, if you're within Europe, Europe zone, there's no issue there.
Amazing. And I think that takes us towards the end of the questions. Any more questions or thoughts, guys? Feel free to obviously pop those in the chat. Happy to wait a few moments. But Jonas, it's fantastic to have you this evening. Thanks for taking out your time and joining us tonight for both the talk and the Q&A session as well. As Jonas mentioned, he's more than happy to obviously connect with you guys, and the details of the talk alongside links to Jonas's website, his LinkedIn, were sent to you guys to your emails ahead of the talk. So definitely feel free to browse and connect. And to all of the participants and attendees who've joined tonight as well, staff, students, alumni, guests, we really look forward to seeing you all again next week. So keep an eye out on your emails for the details of the next speaker and links to the next talk as well. And until next time, stay well, stay safe, and thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Ahmed.
Amazing. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Jonas.
All right. Thanks, guys.